Hello there, everyone, and welcome to Walking the Text, and more specifically to the teaching series. Hey, my name is Brad Gray, and it is such a joy having you watch this. You know, for many of you, you've been reading the Bible for decades. For others of you, you've had limited engagement or you are brand new to the Bible. Wherever you find yourself on this spectrum, I believe this teaching series is going to be helpful to you. Because one of the things that I have found in teaching the Bible professionally for more than 12 years now is that people have a vast array of experiences around the Bible, and not all of them are positive. I mean, on a regular basis, I talk with folks who will say things to me like, man, when I read the Bible, it just seems so barbaric and repressive. I mean, other people will say it just seems so outdated and irrelevant to our world. Others will say, I just find reading the Bible to be boring. And then other people will say, like, I enjoy reading the Bible, but I just have this sense that I am missing out on so much. And I find a lot of the times the Bible can be confusing, and then I feel discouraged. And then ultimately people will go so far as to say, I just feel helpless reading the Bible. Well, friends, the good news is the Bible was never intended to be experienced in these ways. In fact, if I had to, in just 2 sentences, kind of let you know what I believe to be true about the Bible and what the experience everybody I hope would have around the Bible, here's what I would say. I believe the Bible is the most beautiful, compelling, challenging, relevant, instructive, unified, electrifying, and life-giving story in human history. And it has the unparalleled power to transform people's lives and set them on a path of adventure and purpose for experiencing the most meaningful life now and not just in the world to come. This is what I long for people to say about the Bible, but the reality is people don't often say this about the Bible, which tells me we have a big problem on our hands. And the problem doesn't lie with the Bible. It actually lies with us. Now, let's just be brutally honest. The Bible is not an easy book to understand and apply. And there's a really good reason for that. And that reason is that the Bible is a sophisticated piece of ancient literature. Or more accurately, it's a sophisticated library of ancient literature. I mean, we're dealing with 66 different books written over the course of 1,500 years by more than 30 different authors on 3 different continents. And each of them have their own unique context. The problem is most of us have never been taught to deal with the Bible in this reality, meaning we haven't been taught how to engage the Bible in its original context. For most of us, we open up the Bible and the first question we're asking is, well, what is this thing saying to me? Listen, if the first question we're asking is, what is this saying to me? We're already reading the Bible poorly and out of context because we're treating it like a modern text, as if we can just open it up and all of its meaning should be immediately accessible to us. That's not the reality of the Bible. The Bible is ancient literature and it's very, very sophisticated. And what I want to help you do is learn how to read and engage the Bible as it was intended. To take the text of the Bible, stick it into its ancient context, and then ultimately answer the question first, what did it mean to them then? And once we have done this thrilling work, then we'll be able to ask better questions and make deeper implications for what it means for us today and how we can live it out in our lives. All of this reminds me of a really great quote recorded in Eugene Peterson's book, Eat This Book, where he recounts a conversation he had with one of his Jewish rabbi friends. And this has been like a foundational quote for me in my studies and teachings, and it's utterly brilliant. Notice what his friend said. For us Jews, studying the Bible is more important than obeying it. Because if you don't understand it rightly, you will obey it wrongly, and your obedience will be disobedience. Isn't that stunning? Oh, I just love this quote. There's 2 facets that I really appreciate. The first is the emphasis on studying the Bible well. Friends, if we don't study and interpret the Bible well, then everything else suffers downstream, particularly our obedience, which is the actual point that Eugene's rabbi friend is making. When he says for us Jews, studying the Bible is more important than obeying it, this is the beautiful aspect of Jewish paradox, is that you have to start with a right understanding. But that's ultimately not the end game. The end game is that we walk out the text obediently in our lives. And this is the heartbeat behind walking the text. And the reason why I chose this name for the organization is because the word walking in Hebrew is the word halak. And it often gets translated into our English as to live or to go, which is a great translation, by the way. But its root definition literally means to walk. Now, why does it get translated as to live or to go if its root definition means to walk? Well, in the biblical consciousness, how you walk is a reflection of how you live, and how you live is reflected in how you walk. It's why even today we use the phrase, hey, walk the talk. I mean, this is a phrase that has been preserved for thousands of years. And this is what I am after with walking the text, is that I want to help you to understand the Bible in its original context. I want to guide you in that process and empower you to read and experience the Bible anew. But friends, it doesn't end there. That's a means to an end. Ultimately, what I want to do is help you set the text in its context so that we can ask those better questions and make those better implications for how do we walk this out in our lives. And this is why our tag is helping you learn, love, and live out the Bible as it was intended. And this is what we're going to do every week with the teaching series. Every Tuesday, we're going to tackle another story, a passage, a keyword, a theme in the Bible. And I'm going to help us to see it in light of its original context. And then I'm going to talk us through some ways in which we can live this out in our lives. And one of the ways that I'll also help you to do that is that with each teaching video that will be at walkingthetext.com, there will be a series of discussion questions underneath the video on the website that you can use for personal study, but also for group study. So maybe you're part of a small group. Maybe you are someone who oversees a team. Maybe you are a chaplain. Maybe you just want to do something with your family around the Bible. These discussion questions will help facilitate for you a really great environment around engaging the text. And then also where it's applicable, I'll offer some additional resources for you to go deeper with whatever that particular teaching story, theme, keyword that we tackled in that teaching for the day. And so that's what we're going to do. And I am super, super excited about this. I hope that you're excited about this as well. And so I just want to invite you to do a few things as we tie up our time here. First is that if you haven't gone to Walking the Text and joined the community, do that. You'll put in your email address, you'll get emailed the teaching every Tuesday, and you'll never miss a teaching. Now, the other thing that will come along as a benefit to you for that is that you will receive a free ebook that I wrote called The Number One Mistake Most Everyone Makes Reading the Bible. And I would highly encourage you to read through this. It's not very long. I tried to make it very, very understandable. There's no scholarly language. Like somebody in elementary school can read and understand this, and somebody who's been reading the Bible for decades will go, oh, really? I don't think I've ever thought about it that way before. So very, very accessible. And what I do is I make a case for context, and I go deeper into what do I mean that we need to read the Bible in its ancient context. And in the midst of the ebook, I give a framework for how we need to engage the text in context and what the 6 lenses are for reading the Bible in context. And I give, explanations around it, examples from the Bible, and a host of other things. And it's, again, very, very, very accessible. But here's the really cool thing about in the ebook is there's a link in the ebook to where you can download this graphic off of walkingthetext.com. And that way you can print it out and put it in your Bible or put it somewhere prominent. So whenever you're studying the Bible, you have access to that. So this ebook is a really great resource that I hope that you'll take a little bit of time and just read through. The other thing I would just say is that share this teaching series with friends and family on social media, and especially to anybody that you want to go along the journey with in engaging these teachings. Just share that with them. And then finally, on the website, there'll be the teaching, there'll be the discussion questions where applicable, there'll be further resources, and then underneath all of that, there will be a section where you can leave comments. And I would just really encourage you to leave comments when you feel so, like, yeah, I feel like I should comment here, because here's what that would do for me, is that will help me to know what's connecting and resonating for you and how I can tweak the series just to make it more helpful to all of you. And without your feedback, I won't know exactly what's working or what's not working. Now, I will go through and read the comments. I won't be able to respond to all the comments because there's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are going to be engaging with this teaching series on a weekly basis. But just know that I will be going through those, and that will significantly help me to know how to improve the series so that it's a great experience to you. So there you go. That's what we're planning to do, and I'm excited to have you join me on the journey. And as you will hear me say time and time again, may you walk out the text well in your life.